One of the most brutal atrocities carried out by the British actually happened in the first 8 years of Elizabeth's reign and when Charles was alive. Because in the 1950s, while Kenya was still a British colony, an armed rebellion was launched by the Kikuyu people who had lost land to white settlers and found themselves locked into a formal racial hierarchy that placed Europeans on top and Africans at the bottom. The British sent army reinforcements to put down the so-called Mau Mau uprising, describing the situation to the world back then like this.
Agitators urged some of the Africans to free their country of the white man. There is little reliable information about the setup of the terrorist organization, for few members even know from whom they take their orders. They obey blindly, savagely attacking the defenseless, burning, looting, murdering. Kenya is the battlefield of a conflict that cannot end until the Mau Mau is dissolved forever.
Oh, righty-ho. The trouble in Kenya comes not from the British who took over and stole land, but from the people whose land was stolen. Now, is there more to this story? Surely, but will you hear it coming from a voice that sounds like this? I say never! Never, I say! In crushing the uprising, the British instituted a system of detention camps, and 90,000 Kenyans were executed, tortured or maimed during the crackdown, and an estimated 160,000 were detained in appalling conditions. For a long time, the British met outcry over this with a mixture of denial and defensiveness. In fact, just watch this interview with a former British colonial officer who'd been responsible for at least 6 of those detention camps. When asked about reports that soldiers had put their boots on the necks of detainees, he has an escalating exchange culminating in the single longest pause you will ever see on television. I'll warn you, however long you think this pause is going to be, it's going to be much longer.
Did you have cause to give the order to or yourself put your boot on their neck of these resistors, the ones that were howling?
Can we stop talking for a moment?
No, because I'd quite like you to answer that.
I will answer it when I have stopped talking for a moment. I'm sorry, but I...
Well, do you have a problem with that question?
No, it's a hypothetical question.
No, it's not. It's a very precise
You've
question.
asked me, did I put my foot on anybody's neck? No.
Did you cause the order to be given? Did you give the order to do that? Are you not going to answer the question?
No, I'm looking at you with certain thoughts in my mind.
Holy shit! If you are trying to conceal your role in supervising torture, here's a few quick tips. Don't respond to a simple question by taking a full 23 seconds to answer. Don't then issue a vague threat like some kind of cartoon villain. And finally, try not to glare malevolently at the interviewer with what I can only describe as war crime eyes. And just to be clear, we don't know what the Queen knew. What she is briefed on is kept secret, very conveniently, but we do know what was done in her name by her government. Her face was on the money in Kenya. When Kenyan's captors sang their national anthem, it was a hymn to her protection. And we do know that she was not only characteristically silent about those atrocities, you know, in that charming style that everybody loved, but she also awarded that man an MBE, one of the country's highest honours.